the awakened imagination and the art of detachment. Okay, so I want to get into this message in regarding to the power of tapping into your imagination. Like, it's literally the thing that cannot be manipulated if you do not allow it. Okay, it is completely off limits to external factors, and so this inner world is so precious, and it's one of the things that you begin to acclimate yourself back to, because we naturally tune into it early on in life, but the course of going through school, is kind of looked at as if something that you need to leave behind, when it's the very thing that causes people to tap into supernatural levels of success and also inner peace that's unshakable. So we live in this world that constantly demands us to have our attention scattered and to be distracted, whether that is in regarding to deadlines that are looming above us, whether that is just everyday noise that surround us. We are often told that, okay, we need to be realistic, we need to face reality, okay, but while there is wisdom in being present, okay, truly, but what happens when you become like literally burdened by just focusing on the present? When you become so entangled with current conditions that you forget that there is a sacred power that lies within, and that power is your superconscious mind. What is the superconscious? The superconscious mind is that surpasses your subconscious mind. So think about your mind being in three layers. First, you have the conscious mind, which is what you see just straight off the gate. Then we have the subconscious mind, which is like the navigator of your brain. Then you have the superconscious mind, which is the God aspect of yourself. Some people may even consider it from a spiritual lens, Holy Spirit. So when you begin to move into your imagination, thinking about the best case scenarios, not putting any limitations, this is you tap into having a gold mine, the Midas touch. Anything that you can believe in your mind can actually come into your reality. And this is the sacred power of imagination. And this is why those that have tapped into having breakthroughs in their life, those that have tapped into having mindfulness and success, they understand that your mind is something that needs to be protected. So, moving into the awakened imagination, and why this is so important, because this is literally like daydreaming. So, it is not just about fantasizing about things, it is a divine tool. It is a faculty in which your vision is allowing you to transcend whatever reality you're in. You could be in the lowest of the low when it comes to a socio-economic level, but if you can think outside of that, you can also have that. You'll be able to reach outside of your paradigm. And I don't care who is around you telling you that you're not going to be able to achieve certain things. Tune all of that out and tune into that God aspect of yourself. Okay, so think about it. Every creation, every invention, everything begins in someone's imagination. Somebody had to think of it first. And even when it comes to from a spiritual perspective, even in Genesis, it speaks about how God thought of creating day and night, and then it was a thing. So your thought process is something that is so miraculous. And I'm sharing this at this time because we're moving beyond the facts of reality, and we're moving into an awakened imagination. So someone who is willing to detach, if you have the ability to detach from your current situation or circumstance, okay, you have the ability to actually defy whatever limitation seems to be there. Okay, this is why there's been so many situations where I've had people say, okay, you're not going to be able to achieve this or that. I've even had people who would try to hinder me from whatever goals or things that I'm working towards. And then somehow, because I tune into the God aspect of myself, because I pray, because I tune into who I truly am destined to be, then I'm able to supersede all the limitations that they set forth. And then they move into a space of being in shock and awe because they're like, wow, I put all these hindrances in this person's way and they still overcame. And so this is why it's so important to detach. Detachment is not apathy. It is not you giving up. When I say detachment, I'm meaning that stepping back from whatever it is that seems to be a limitation, allow yourself the space to utilize your mind as the God aspect that is designed to be. Just like, for instance, a sculptor, when a sculptor has a raw piece of material like a stone, to the untrained eye, to somebody that does not have imagination, they may look at it and say like, it's just literally a piece of rock. Like, how are you seeing something beautiful in that? But to somebody that is artistic, to somebody that has foresight, you can see the beauty of what it is that you can cultivate and chisel out of this raw material. Okay, and so this is an example of the masterpiece that your mind can create. So this is why it's so important to move into a space of detachment when it comes to awakening to the divine power of imagination. Because when you detach from your current reality, this is how you stop yourself from feeding into being in agreement with what it is that you don't want. So, for instance, it is like you literally saying mentally, I see what is here, but I do not accept it as final. And when you do not deny the facts, when you simply refuse to be in alignment with those things, that's when you get the ball rolling towards being awakened to the infinite possibilities of your imagination.